This is my short film review of A Place to Fall Down, written and directed by Duane Hansen Fernandez. And the film stars Clifton Collins Jr. as a mechanic called Jose, and he's a very talented mechanic. People seem to come to him for sort of quite expert jobs. However, Jose is dealing with a crippling grief. He's lost a loved one and he is suffering through that experience. At the beginning of the film, we find him sort of in the corner of this garage, and he's listening to a sort of self-help meditation type audio book. So clearly in need of some kind of additional emotional support right now. His day becomes quite stressful. His assistant doesn't turn up. So he's alone in the garage, which again just kind of intensifies this experience that he's going through. Mm-hmm. And then he's getting quite tense and worried about one of his customers, who's then pushing him for updates on the car and whether it's been done and things like that. And the film kind of has this flitting imagery coming in, like the clock, and it will sort of zoom in on the clock, or part of the garage, and it will zoom in. It's very intense, and it's almost like Jose's struggling to find balance and find, his place in this new world order without his loved one there. And later in the film, he gets a phone call and something sort of shifts, which I won't spoil. But yeah, it's a really interesting film. I love this idea of it being in a garage. It's where broken cars come to be mended, and Jose is definitely in need of some time to be mended, some TLC. And the performance from Clifton Collins Jr. was brilliant. It's like a mix between very emotional dialogue. He's great at handling the couple of conversations that he has, but it's more of a physical performance, and we see how tired he looks, how anxious he looks. His eyes give away so much just in terms of what he's feeling on the inside. And yeah, that for me was the real power of this film. The exploration of grief is really well done, really well handled. I'm sure lots of people can connect with this. It's this post-COVID type film, and I think the whole film was made in that sense, of a community, of how we've all dealt with grief. We've all been touched by it in some way, and this film manages to capture that brilliantly just through one person's really personal experience. There's a lot of isolation going on here. There's a lot of disconnect from the real world. Even the garage just seems like a labyrinth. Jose just seems lost, amongst all these other cars and things like that. There's no humans around, and I think that is really powerful, the way the filmmaker and the filmmaking has complemented the story's themes and the message that it's trying to get across. And it's only through the reaching out and the connection again with humans that Jose can actually find some semblance of support and moving forward. It's one of those films that's been crafted really well. Every aspect just felt, not to use too many motoring terms, it felt finely tuned, and you're not going to question the quality there of what's being presented with you. The only thing I did find that I felt was lacking was getting maybe more of how it's impacted Jose. His day is very stressful and he seems very anxious, but it felt like maybe there was more to his life that we could have learned, more to how this grief was impacting him. The film is only about 10-12 minutes, I think, and could have been longer. I feel like it could have been double the length, and we could have had more. But then with a solo performer, it may have limited the strengths of the movie. I have seen filmmakers do that, and actually when you rely too much on one actor, it falls down. And introducing more characters, more performance, it could have been the wrong decision. It's just something I felt as a viewer I wanted more from this, and that's no bad thing. It's always a positive aspect to a short film, is if you want more from that. But as it is, it's a really good film, really strong performances, strong filmmaking. The sound design was really good. It kind of came in at one point. It was quite intense. So yeah, I'd recommend watching it if and when you get a chance. I've had a look. I don't believe it's currently available. There's an IMDb page which you can follow and check in for updates on there. There's a link on there to my review, my written review for UK Film Review. But yeah, we'll do our best to share and showcase the movie. As I say, it's called A Place to Fall Down, written and directed by Duane Hansen Fernandez, and yeah, terrific stuff.